Eleanor Roosevelt was born on October 11, 1884, into one of America's most prominent families, a world of wealth, influence, and high expectations. Yet behind the elegant facade of her upbringing lay deep personal struggles. She lost both of her parents at a young age, her mother to illness and her father, whom she adored, to alcoholism. Orphaned before adolescence, Eleanor grew up feeling shy, insecure, and searching for purpose. Her early years were marked by a sense of not quite belonging, but also by a growing awareness of the world beyond her social circle. Sent to school in England as a teenager, she encountered ideas about social responsibility and service that would shape her future. There, she gained confidence and developed a lifelong commitment to helping others, especially those without a voice.
In 1905, Eleanor married her distant cousin, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a rising political figure whose ambitions would carry them both into the center of American public life. Their marriage brought Eleanor into a world of political gatherings, social obligations, and increasing public scrutiny. While Franklin pursued his political career, Eleanor gradually carved out her own path. She became involved in charitable organizations, settlement houses, and efforts to improve working conditions for women and children. These experiences exposed her to poverty and inequality, transforming her from a reserved society woman into an advocate for reform. Franklin's diagnosis with polio in 1921 became a turning point. As he fought to regain strength, Eleanor stepped more fully into public roles, building networks and gaining political experience that would later prove invaluable.
When Franklin Roosevelt was elected President of the United States in 1932 during the depths of the Great Depression, Eleanor became First Lady at a moment of profound national hardship. Millions of Americans faced unemployment, hunger, and uncertainty. She redefined the role of First Lady, refusing to remain a ceremonial figure. Instead, she traveled extensively across the country, visiting coal mines, factories, rural communities, and relief programs. She listened to ordinary citizens, often bringing their concerns directly to the president and policymakers. Her willingness to engage directly with the public made her both admired and controversial. She held press conferences, wrote newspaper columns, and spoke openly about social issues, something unprecedented for a First Lady at the time.
Eleanor Roosevelt used her position to champion causes she believed in deeply. She supported civil rights at a time when such advocacy was politically risky. She spoke against racial discrimination and worked to improve opportunities for African Americans, including advocating for fair treatment in federal programs. She also promoted women's rights, encouraging greater participation in public life and employment. Her efforts extended to youth programs, education initiatives, and support for refugees fleeing persecution abroad. One of her defining qualities was her willingness to stand by principle, even when facing criticism. She believed that leadership required empathy and moral courage.
During World War II, Eleanor remained active, visiting troops stationed in the United States and overseas. She toured military bases, hospitals, and war production facilities, offering encouragement and gathering first-hand insights into the experiences of soldiers and workers. Her visits boosted morale and reinforced the idea that national leaders cared about those serving on the front lines. She also advocated for improved conditions for women working in wartime industries and for minority soldiers facing discrimination. At home, she encouraged Americans to remain united and resilient during a time of global conflict.
After Franklin Roosevelt's death in 1945, many assumed Eleanor would retire from public life. Instead, she entered a new phase of service. President Harry Truman appointed her as a delegate to the newly formed United Nations, recognizing her experience and moral authority. At the United Nations, Eleanor played a central role in drafting the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, a historic document outlining fundamental rights and freedoms for people everywhere. As chair of the drafting committee, she guided complex negotiations among representatives from diverse cultures and political systems. Her leadership helped ensure that the declaration reflected principles of dignity, equality, and justice. Adopted in 1948, it remains one of the most influential human rights documents in history.
In the years that followed, Eleanor continued speaking, writing, and advocating for social causes. She traveled widely, meeting leaders and citizens around the world. Her lectures addressed issues ranging from civil rights and international cooperation to education and humanitarian aid. She remained deeply engaged in public discussions, using her platform to encourage dialogue and progress. Her daily newspaper column allowed her to communicate directly with readers, sharing reflections on current events and moral questions. Despite her global stature, she maintained a personal warmth and accessibility that endeared her to many.
Throughout her life, Eleanor Roosevelt faced criticism, political opposition, and personal challenges. Yet she approached adversity with resilience and determination. She believed strongly in the idea that individuals could make a difference through compassion and action. Her journey from a shy young girl to an influential global leader reflected her capacity for growth and her commitment to serving others. She often emphasized the importance of courage, not as the absence of fear, but as the willingness to act despite it.
Eleanor remained active into her later years, continuing to speak out on issues she cared about deeply. She worked on initiatives promoting peace, civil rights, and international understanding. On November 7, 1962, Eleanor Roosevelt passed away at the age of 78. Tributes poured in from around the world, honoring a life devoted to public service and human dignity. Leaders and citizens alike recognized her as a figure who had expanded the possibilities of what public leadership could look like.
Eleanor Roosevelt's legacy extends far beyond her years as First Lady. She transformed expectations of public service, demonstrating that empathy and engagement could shape policy and inspire change. Her work on human rights continues to influence global conversations about justice and equality. She is remembered as a pioneer, a woman who used her voice to advocate for those often overlooked and who believed deeply in the potential for progress. Her story reminds us that leadership is not defined solely by position, but by the willingness to listen, to care, and to act. In classrooms, diplomatic halls, and communities around the world, her influence endures, a testament to a life lived in service of others.